bottom paragraph, 188. Okay. He explained that if a person just reflects on the way God created the world, where everything started from nothing. There's nothing in existence which is not provided for to sustain the person, whether it's the food, whether it's the function, whether it's the physical makeup, whether it's the various events in a person's life in terms of development, the transitional development for the positive. It happens naturally. It's like amazing. Right? A child is born as an infant, normally develops into another level in growth. And how the food is broken down into blood, into different things in terms of the body. If you reflect on this, you will see signs of goodness, wisdom, and ability. What God's ability is. It's unlimited. So I'll give you an example. You got to speak to people what they appreciate. A person who has a slight understanding of golf. And he goes out, and what's his name? Tiger Woods. And you see, and you've invited to just be the two of you on the golf green. You're amazed the way he holds it, and the way he chose it, and the way he chooses, and the way he places the ball, and the way he inhales and exhales, and the way he looks at where he's supposed to hit that ball. It's amazing. You're impressed. And you look at creation and the human being, and you say, it's okay. I got to get to the office. You understand? So you got to reflect. Okay? Histakel v'chasho b'shoshei chibur ha'nireh. Histakel. Histakel comes from the word seichel. You should delve. It's a gazing where you're able to process what you're looking at. V'chashov, and consider b'shorshei chibur ha'nireh. He says the discernible parts make up Ritzonim lo nafsho v'gufo. Tireh ha'odo murkav miyisodes chalukim utfoim sheinim domim. I told you the story. Martha Zanida, that Cleopatra. She was always impressed with certain things. It always had to do either with sexuality or with the physicality of the body. One of the questions she asked one of the Tanoim, when resurrection is going to happen, is the person going to be resurrected naked or clothed? This question bothered her, right? So the Tana said, take a look at a kernel of wheat. When you plant the kernel, it's stripped of its husk and everything, and when it comes out of the ground, it has multiple covers. So the human being who goes into the ground with shrouds definitely is going to come out with garments. That's what the Tana said to her. But the other thing she was amazed with, from conception, it's Gemara. Dressed. There's a question of what kind of garments, whether it be royal garments or just the tachrichim, not decomposed, not shredded. How you're going to come out of the ground. It's Gemara Ksubis, Gemara in Sanhedrin. So here you have this colorless fluid. It fertilizes the ovum, and there's a person, the bones, the hair, the sinews, the flesh, the skin, the eye, the color of the eye, the pupil, every aspect. It's amazing how from one colorless fluid fertilizing the ovum, you have all this evolving. And she was amazed. She couldn't get over it. You see the something which is not understandable. So if you reflect on this, you're amazed, you're impressed. I once said the first time I ever heard it was many years ago. He was a guest speaker at a certain dinner, and his father was the chief rabbi of Detroit. His name was Rabbi Levin, and he was a student of the Chovot Chaim, and he learned before Radin, he learned in Kelm. So when I say it over to you, remember I once said this. And he said, in Hebrew, hispalus is to be amazed. A person is mispoel. You're mispoel. You're affected to a degree. You're amazed. You're taken aback. So before he went to Rodney, he studied in Kelm. Kelm was the yeshiva of the student of the Rabbi Salater, Rabbi Simcha Zissel. The Alter of Kelm established Kelm. And they gave people an understanding how to see the world and how to take control of your life and what to be impressed with and not what to be impressed with. And always retain your balance, not to be affected. You should always be rational to make evaluations. That was the conditioning, the regimenting of Kelm. So they used to say, his son spoke. His son-in-law spoke at a dinner. His name's Rabbi Keller from Chicago. So he spoke, and he says, in Kelm, it's called Kelvin Hispilus. In Yiddish, a calf is called a kelb. Calf, kelb. He says it's like a cow that's amazed. He says, how's a cow amazed? He says when they laid the first tracks in Europe, in the rural area, so you have the cows grazing in the field, and they're all munching on the grass, with the bells around the neck, in Poland, the net around the neck, and the train, the locomotive goes by. It's coming from a distance. It whistles, making noise, smoke billowing from the chimney. The cows never seen anything like this. They pick up their heads. They look at the train. They're amazed. And they're looking at the train. They're looking at the chewing, but they're still munching on the grass. Then the train goes into a distance. And eventually, the cows can't see it. The heads go right back into the ground. Again, tearing out grass and munching on it. He says, that's what human beings are. Did you hear what happened? It's amazing. 2 seconds later, back into the feed bag. That's what a human being is. That's called Kelvin Hispilus. It's like the cow that's amazed. That's what you being is amazed. You're amazed for the moment. But you're supposed to reflect on it. I point out something. You reflect, and if you reflect on something which should be reflected upon, you become a different human being. Then you could appreciate your own value and your purpose. And that's exactly what he's speaking about over here. The makeup, the composite of the human being is made up of multiple different parts. The function of one is different than the other. God connected them with his power, and he combined them and intermingled them, intertwined them with his wisdom, and he brought it all together to have a functioning body. And it looks like one entity. It's one entity. It's all covered with skin. It looks like, you'd say if you don't know what's inside, inner organs, the sinews, what holds the bones together, the function, the nerves. Essentially, the person tears a tendon, you can't move your finger. It's unbelievable. Whoever believes it, it's unbelievable. It's like a pulley system, the way the body works. Speaking to a podiatrist there, he can tell you about it. Okay? Some people have to walk around, they have to get an electric shock that their toe should heal. Some people, you never know. Right? It's from the podiatrist to the patient. Everybody has a level of appreciation. Okay, to be continued.